After countless hours of computational analysis and weeks of meticulous study, along with cooperation from numerous global research institutions, we've managed to decode the 3I Atlas radio signal. What it conveys significantly alters our understanding of this object, first contact, and humanity's role in the cosmos. I'm Mishikaku, and I am here to guide you through the details of what this signal entails, the process we use to decode it, and the implications it holds for every individual on our planet. Let me begin with the conclusion because it's crucial. The 3I Atlas isn't merely observing us. It's not just passing by. The decoded message indicates that it serves as an active probe on a defined mission, and Earth is that mission. We are the focus. We are the subject. The message clarifies why we were selected and outlines what is to come next. Breakthrough in decoding emerged from an unexpected team at the Max Planck Institute for Radio, Astronomy in Germany, and mathematicians from MIT. Their approach to the signal was not to translate it as language, but to interpret it as a mathematical framework. This change in perspective proved to be pivotal. Instead of searching for words, they sought patterns that transcend language itself. The signal consists of 37 pulses, which are not random. The number 37 is prime. Specifically, it is the 12th prime number. This serves as the first decoded piece of information. They are employing prime numbers as a counting system, a universal mathematical language. The 12th prime number signifies that this is the 12th of something. But what is the 12th? The duration of each pulse of 2.1 seconds may have appeared arbitrary until researchers recognized that these units aren't in our seconds. Instead, they are measured by the periods of the hydrogen line frequency. The hydrogen emission frequency at 1420 MHz has a period of about 0.7 nanoseconds. Thus, 2.1 seconds comprises precisely 3 billion hydrogen periods. 3 billion. Yet another significant number, another piece of the puzzle. The interval between pulses, which is 15.7 seconds, converts to exactly 22.4 billion hydrogen periods. Once again, this isn't random. The ratio of the pulse duration to the spacing is roughly 7.5 to 1. This ratio appears consistently in various elements of the signal's structure. But why 7.5? The turning point came with Dr. Elena Vasquez at MIT, who realized that 7.5 billion years marks the approximate age of Earth when complex multicellular life began to appear. This cannot be mere coincidence. They are not employing arbitrary numbers. They're referencing the biological history of Earth. They are aware of the critical thresholds in our planet's evolutionary timeline and are communicating that they have studied us thoroughly. The chirp pattern within each pulse, with its frequency rising from below to above 1420 MHz, carries further layers of information. When the rate of frequency change is scrutinized utilizing appropriate mathematical transforms, a series of values emerge that align with fundamental physical constants critical to both chemistry and biology. These constants include the fine structure constant, essential in defining how atoms interact with light, the electron-to-proton mass ratio, vital for chemical reactions, and the ratio of electromagnetic to gravitational forces, crucial for the stability of planets and stars. They are not merely flaunting their knowledge of physics. They exhibit a profound understanding of the conditions necessary for life as we know it. Dr. Michael Chen led a team at Caltech, responsible for decoding the amplitude modulation of the signal, analyzing subtle variations in signal strength. By employing wavelet transforms, the amplitude fluctuations yield an image that is anything but random. This image presents a three-dimensional map of our local galactic neighborhood, depicting stars within roughly 5,000 light-years of Earth. Marked on this map are precisely 12 locations, 12 stars or star systems highlighted using the same mathematical marker akin to that found in the prime number sequence. Among those 12 locations is our Sun, with the others being G-type stars that closely resemble our own. All are estimated to be between 4 and 7 billion years old, and all possess confirmed or suspected Earth-like planets situated within habitable zones. Some of these exoplanets have already been identified through the Kepler mission and other surveys. The rest are stars we have yet to fully characterize. However, 3i Atlas indicates that these 12 systems hold significance. They are interconnected in some manner. The implications are monumental. We are not unique. We are not even uncommon. We rank as number 12 in a catalog of analogous systems in our nearby galaxy that have been evaluated, examined, and identified as harboring life or the potential for it. 3. iAtlas is not simply making a pit stop on Earth. It is on a systematic circuit, visiting each of these 12 systems in turn. Our planet is merely one stop in a broader mission to catalog life-bearing or potentially life-bearing worlds within this galactic region. The timing information, embedded within the signal's phase modulation, provides even more insight. When Dr. Sarah Mitchell at Oxford decoded the phase shifts, she discovered that they denote specific dates in relation to the hydrogen frequency period, which correspond to years in Earth's chronology. The first date, approximately 3.8 billion years ago, marks the emergence of life on Earth. The second date is around 2.4 billion years ago, corresponding to the evolution of photosynthesis and the resultant oxygen production. The third, about 540 million years ago, reflects the Cambrian explosion, a time when complex multicellular life diversified rapidly. The fourth date, roughly 66 million years ago, signifies the asteroid impact that led to the dinosaurs' extinction, allowing mammals to flourish. The fifth date, around 300,000 years ago, is when Homo sapiens emerged. The sixth, approximately 10,000 years ago, coincides with the agricultural revolution. They are not merely indicating their awareness of Earth's biological history. They are demonstrating that they have been monitoring our major evolutionary transitions in detail. They know our history intimately, having observed us for billions of years. Likely not continuously, but through periodic visits where each one captures the state of life's development and compares it with prior encounters. The most recent date encoded in the signal is 1945, the year of the first nuclear weapons test, the Trinity test in New Mexico. That is when we transitioned from a pre-technological society to one capable of nuclear energy. From their vantage point, this probably represents a significant milestone. We became capable of self-destruction and potentially pose a threat to others if we ever manage interstellar travel. It is then that we became subjects worthy of closer surveillance. The final component of the decoded message is both the most direct and the most complex to interpret. This last section of the transmission appears to consist of what can unmistakably be described as spatial coordinates and timing information. These coordinates reference a specific point in three-dimensional space relative to the Sun, and an exact time approximately 18 months from now. The specified location is not Earth. It lies approximately 1.3 astronomical units from the Sun, just beyond Earth's orbit. This timing is precise to within minutes. What this signifies is still somewhat ambiguous, but the most plausible interpretation raises concern. It suggests a meeting point and time. 3. iAtlas appears to be signaling where and when a significant event will transpire. Are they proposing a rendezvous? Are they warning us that something will arrive at that location in due time? Are they directing us on where to look with our telescopes? Are they scheduling contact? We cannot say for certain, but in 18 months, at that specific location, something noteworthy is expected to occur. Dr. James Robertson at JPL has delved into the orbital mechanics. The indicated location and time correspond to a position near enough for Earth, about 0.4 astronomical units away at that date. This proximity allows for detailed observation or communication, though it is still not Earth itself. If anything arrives there, we will easily observe it using current telescopes, and radio communication will be possible with minimal delay, presenting an optimal geometry for interaction. The burning question for every analysis team is what will show up at that location. Another probe, several probes, a larger craft. Nothing because we misunderstood the message, or something beyond our comprehension due to our lack of a suitable framework to grasp what they mean. NASA's official response has been measured and cautious. They affirm that the signal has been decoded and consists of ordered information, including mathematical constants, astronomical data, and chronological coordinates. They confirm that the message shows an intricate understanding of Earth's history and location, yet they evade conclusive statements about its implications or what actions we should take in response. Closed-door discussions have been intense. I have recently participated in several high-level meetings. The spectrum of interpretations and suggested responses ranges from enthusiastic engagement to wary defensiveness. Some advocate for preparing a response transmission, sending our own message to the specified coordinates to welcome contact, while others advise that we adopt a position of passive observation, carefully monitoring that location without revealing more about ourselves than they already know. Given the involvement of military and intelligence agencies, this makes sense but complicates matters. There are concerns about strategic ramifications. If something arrives there in 18 months with capabilities surpassing our own, what does that mean for our security? How do we safeguard our interests? How can we prevent potential rivals on Earth from gaining advantages through exclusive access to extraterrestrial technology or knowledge? The international aspect of this situation is paramount. The message does not pertain to a single nation. It addresses humanity as a whole. However, we lack effective global governance frameworks that can coordinate a response to first contact. The United Nations has proposed frameworks on paper, yet implementing them amid geopolitical tensions and competing national interests poses immense challenges. Nations such as China, Russia, the United States, the European Union, India, and Japan all possess space capabilities. All have independently decoded the signal or participated in shared analyses, and all seek a say in the human response. Some advocate for a collaborative approach, desiring a unified response, while others prefer to maintain independent options, including the chance of unilateral contact or response. Let us break down each element of the decoded message in greater detail, as comprehending precisely what they are communicating is crucial for determining how we should react. The catalog number 12 signifies that we are the 12th civilization documented in their survey of our local neighborhood, which carries profound ramifications. It implies we are not the first. 11 other systems were investigated before us or are undergoing concurrent examinations. Are those other systems inhabited? Do they possess technological civilizations, or might they be earlier in their evolution, housing only microbial or rudimentary multicellular life? Our inclusion in this catalog suggests we meet specific criteria. We are a G-type star system with an Earth-like planet located in a habitable zone, confirmed to have complex life, and we have recently achieved technological capability. If these are the filters determining inclusion, the other 11 systems likely also fulfill similar criteria. This could indicate at least 12 technological civilizations within a 5,000 light-year radius, possibly more, that do not meet whatever criteria define this particular survey. The historical timeline in monitoring evolution through those specific dates in Earth's history coded within the signal indicates they have observed us for billions of years, although likely not continuously. More probably, they or their probes appear periodically, perhaps every few 100 million years, to catalog developmental progress, compare it to previous encounters, and update their records. Each visit would highlight a different stage. One visit records simple single-celled organisms. The next observes photosynthetic organisms and the increase in oxygen levels. Subsequent visits track multicellular life, followed by complex land animals including early primates, and then technological civilizations with nuclear capabilities and radio emissions. This progression from simplicity to complexity to technology fits perfectly with evolutionary theory. The documentation of each phase showcases their understanding of evolution. They have witnessed it unfolding across multiple worlds, recognizing the pattern. We are not unique or surprising to them, we are typical. Just another example of life developing on suitable planets given sufficient time. The encoding of physical constants, such as the fine structure constant and mass ratios, serves multiple functions. It confirms that they share our understanding of physics. The laws of nature are universal, applicable throughout the cosmos. Any advanced civilization will uncover the same fundamental constants we have. Furthermore, it establishes a mutual reference frame for communication. By precisely defining these constants, they create measurement standards we can use to interpret other aspects of their message and potentially to craft our responses in a compatible format. Finally, it underscores their sophistication. Quantifying these constants with the precision reflected in the signal necessitates advanced instruments and a profound grasp of quantum mechanics and particle physics. They affirm their validity as a genuine, technological civilization, not a natural phenomenon we're misinterpreting. The galactic map depicting our local neighborhood that shows 12 systems within 5,000 light-years is immensely valuable scientifically. It informs us where to search for other life-bearing worlds. Some of these systems we've already identified as having exoplanets. Others remain uncharacterized. Now we know where to direct subsequent observations, raising profound questions. Are the other 11 systems home to technological civilizations? If so, have they established contact? Are they aware of each other? Could there be a network or community of civilizations in our sector about to welcome us? Or might we be the first, or only, civilization to reach this technological stage? Perhaps these other systems harbor life, but lack intelligence or technology. We may stand as the 12th entry in their catalog, but one of the first or second civilizations to develop radio and nuclear capabilities. This would position us relatively early in the process, possibly as one of the first to join whatever more extensive community exists. The meeting coordinates suggest scheduled contact, which is the most readily actionable aspect of the information and the most uncertain in terms of interpretation. A precise location in space and a specific time, 18 months from now. What could they mean? An optimistic viewpoint suggests it's an invitation to meet. They or another probe, or perhaps a larger craft, will be present at that location and time. If we desire contact, if we seek communication, that is where and when it will occur, granting us agency over our choice to engage or observe from a distance. A cautious interpretation might indicate a warning. Something is coming to that location at that time, and we must prepare, observe, or avoid. It may not be an invitation, but rather a notification of an impending event. A more troubling interpretation could suggest it's a test. They wish to gauge how we will respond. Will we prepare for peaceful contact, or adopt a defensive stance? Will we collaborate internationally or compete? Will we react rationally or out of fear? Our response to this information may serve as a measure of what they are evaluating about us. The 18-month timeline is significant in this regard. It provides ample time for thoughtful preparation, yet it is also short enough that we cannot dramatically alter our capabilities or situations. We cannot construct interstellar vessels in 18 months, nor can we fundamentally transform human nature or political systems. We must operate with who we are presently. Perhaps that is the point. They desire to interact with us as we are, not as some idealized version of humanity that may emerge in the distant future. What is equally important as what the signal communicates is what it does not say. There is no explicit declaration of intentions. There is no clear indication of whether contact will occur in person, remotely, or through some other medium. There are no specific requests for particular responses from us. There is no illumination on who they are, where they originate, or what they want from us beyond the implied message that they have been observing, and they are ready for the next steps. That ambiguity is likely intentional. They are providing us information without limiting our responses, allowing us the freedom to interpret it and act accordingly. This could reflect respect for our autonomy, or it might be a calculated strategy. Our choices may reveal information about us that they are keen to observe. The technical accomplishment involved in decoding this message deserves commendation. It required interdisciplinary collaboration: radio astronomy, mathematics, information theory, cryptography, linguistics, evolutionary biology, and history. No single individual or institution could have achieved this alone. The mathematical methodology was crucial. Dr. Vasquez's team at MIT utilized advanced number theory and pattern recognition algorithms. They explored thousands of potential encoding systems, searching for mathematically coherent structures before considering the semantic meanings. The physical constants were deciphered through spectral analysis and wavelet transforms by Dr. Chen's team at Caltech, who sought patterns within the signal's structure that corresponded to known mathematical relationships in physics. Once they identified encodings producing values aligning with measured constants, they recognized they were on the right path. The astronomical map was perhaps the least complicated decoding process. Once the mathematical encoding scheme was comprehended, they used standard coordinate transformation mathematics to reconstruct the three-dimensional map. The temporal data, Earth's historical dates, required an understanding of the relevant time reference framework. Once they recognized everything was measured in hydrogen line periods, translating to human timeframes became simple mathematics. The corresponding resultant dates, linked with major evolutionary milestones, confirmed their interpretations. The pressing question now is, what should we do with this information? Several response strategies are currently being seriously contemplated. Option 1. An active response. Transmit a message to the specified coordinates well ahead of the designated time. Communication could include mathematical acknowledgments that we received and decoded their signal, alongside information about humanity, our history, science, culture, and aspirations. This represents the enthusiastic engagement approach, yet it carries risks of revealing more about ourselves than required, may be premature, and does not guarantee a positive reply. Option 2. Passive observation. We could direct all available telescopes at the specified location, starting months before the appointed time, to observe what arrives without transmitting. This is the cautious approach, with risks being the potential missed opportunity for proactive contact, possibly interpreted as fearful or hostile. Option 3. Physical presence. Launching a spacecraft or multiple spacecraft to arrive at that proposed location around the predicted time could provide either human or robotic exploration. This would showcase our capabilities and readiness for engagement. But the risks are myriad. It is technically challenging, potentially costly, and could be dangerous if the situation is misunderstood. Option 4. Coordinated preparation. Use the 18-month period to ready humanity for contact, focusing on education, coordinating international response protocols, scientific readiness, and careful consideration of what contact will mean for society. We would wait to see what arrives at the specified location before committing to a specific course of action. This represents a methodical preparation approach, albeit with risks. Time is limited, and meaningful coordination might not be feasible within the constraints. My recommendation is to pursue a combination of options 2 and 4, passive observation coupled with concerted preparation. We should continuously monitor the designated area for the next 18 months while organizing international response frameworks. Scientific preparations should include the readiness of instruments for thorough analysis of anything that enters the location, along with public education regarding the situation and contingency plans for various scenarios of contact. Then, once we observe what transpires at that designated spot and time, we can respond accordingly based on what we learn. If it clearly represents a peaceful contact opportunity, we should engage. If it appears concerning or threatening, we will proceed with caution. If the situation remains ambiguous, we should take our time in analyzing before committing to further action. We are now left with about 17 months until the specified time. This is the timeline we have to work with. Every prominent space agency has the dates marked in their calendars. Every relevant research institution is preparing for observations and analyses. International diplomatic channels are engaging in coordination talks. The United States has proposed the establishment of an international committee under United Nations auspices to coordinate observation and responses, with countries like Russia and China expressing conditional support. European nations appear mostly favorable, yet the challenge lies in achieving formal agreement and effective cooperation amidst geopolitical tensions and national interests. Scientific preparedness appears more straightforward. Every capable telescope will focus on those coordinates. Radio observatories will be listening for any communications from that location, while optical telescopes watch for any light sources or objects. Infrared and other wavelength observations will supplement optical information, ensuring the most exhaustive exploration of a location in space ever executed. What does this mean for humanity? The decoded message shifts the abstract question of whether we are alone into the concrete anticipation that we are recognized and that contact is forthcoming. This is a profound psychological and sociological transition for science. It validates decades of effort by SETI programs seeking extraterrestrial intelligence. It affirms the existence of technological civilizations within a detectable range, and that contact is indeed achievable, every foundational assumption propelling the search for extraterrestrial intelligence is now corroborated. In conjunction with philosophy and religion, it challenges preconceived notions of human uniqueness and special creation. We are neither alone nor special, merely one instance among numerous examples of how life evolves on suitable planets. Different belief systems will assimilate this discovery in various ways, but the core of human self-conception undergoes transformation. Politically and socially, this creates an unprecedented need for global cooperation. Nation-states are primarily designed to handle terrestrial challenges. This situation represents a species-level challenge, necessitating a species-level response. Our political structures aren't equipped for this, and it represents a dilemma we have 18 months to confront, or, at the very least, to enhance. From an individual psychological standpoint, the outcome is both humbling and uplifting. We are smaller than we once believed, just one civilization among many. However, we are also significant enough to be monitored, catalogued, and scheduled for contact. In the larger cosmic picture, we do matter. There remain substantial uncertainties. However, despite the successful decoding of the message, we still don't know who or what will arrive at the specified location. We don't know what form the contact will take, whether beneficial, neutral, or potentially dangerous. We also remain unsure if we've fully decoded the entire message. Additional layers of information might lie within the signal that we have yet to uncover. Different analytical methods may yield further insights. The 18 months leading up to the specified time should also involve continuous reanalysis of the original signal to ensure that nothing has gone overlooked. What I gather is being communicated, based on the decoded information and 4 decades of contemplation regarding these inquiries, can be summarized here. 3i Atlas is asserting that we are an autonomous probe dispatched by an advanced civilization to survey and catalog life-bearing worlds in this sector of the galaxy. We have observed Earth for billions of years through intermittent visits, documenting life's evolution from simple beginnings to complex multicellular forms, and ultimately, technological proficiency. You are the 12th world in our local survey area to manifest a technology deserving of direct observation. You have surpassed the boundary between purely biological evolution and technological competences, encompassing both nuclear energy and space exploration. This renders you potentially significant beyond your own world. We have recorded your history, biology, current technological status, and electromagnetic signature. It is no longer appropriate to continue observing you without your awareness and consent. We are disclosing our presence and our observations. In 18 months at the designated location, we or representatives of those who have sent us will be present for initial direct contact, should you choose to engage. This is neither a demand nor a requirement. It is an invitation and opportunity. Your response will determine how we proceed. We have monitored your development with keen interest. You possess potential, but you also face risks, military capabilities, environmental degradation, and political discord. Whether you evolve into a stable spacefaring civilization or falter before reaching that potential remains uncertain. We are eager to witness which path you take. The choice for the next step lies with you. That is what, in my view, 3i Atlas is genuinely communicating, not through words but via the mathematical and physical details encoded within the signal. It marks first contact, while also structured to provide us with agency and choice. They are not imposing themselves. Rather, they are revealing their presence and offering us an opportunity for interaction within a time frame that allows us time to prepare. The next 17 months represent the most critical months in human history. How we utilize this time will shape our relationship with the intelligence that sent 3i Atlas. It is essential to prepare scientifically, coordinate internationally, educate globally, and thoughtfully consider what contact implies and how we want to conduct ourselves. Every person on Earth has a stake in this. The decision shouldn't rest solely with scientists or governments. This matter affects all of humanity, and ideally, we should strive for as much transparency, inclusion, and democratic input as possible. Given the time constraints, we have successfully decoded the signal and we understand its contents. Now, we must determine how we will convey our response, not just in words or transmissions, but also through our actions. Our preparation for and reaction to scheduled contact will reflect what type of civilization we continue to be. Let's ensure we embody the best of humanity: curiosity, cooperation, rationality, hope, and courage. 3i Atlas Decoded. This is truly what it signifies. Contact is imminent. Are we ready?